Morning children, let us start the chapter number 11, the human eye and the colorful world. This is the detailed structure of human eye. Take a note on the structures: cornea, pupil, iris, ciliary muscles, retina, optic nerve. The human eye. The human eye is the sense organ which helps us to see the colorful world around us. Human eye is like a camera. Its lens system forms an image on the light-sensitive screen called retina. The eyeball is almost spherical in shape with the diameter of about 2.3 centimeter. Now, the light enters the eye through a transparent membrane called cornea. And behind the cornea is a muscular diaphragm called iris, which has a small opening known as pupil. Now, this pupil controls the amount of light entering the eye. The eye lens helps to focus the image of the object on the retina, and the ciliary muscles help to change the curvature of this lens and also changes its focal length. Now coming to working of the eye lens forms the real inverted image of the object on the retina, and the light sensitive cells in the retina then produce electrical signal which is carried by the optic nerves to the brain, and brain processes the information and send the message to the eye, and then we can see the object. The power of accommodation of the eye. The ability of eye lens to see both near and distant object by adjusting its focal length is called power of accommodation of the eye. Now, eye lens is composed of fibrous jelly-like material. So, due to its flexibility, it can change the curvature of the eye lens and also change its focal length. When the muscles are relaxed, the lens becomes thin and its focal length increases. And when muscle contract, the lens becomes thick and its focal length decreases. So by this we get the 2 points, that is near point. The minimum distance at which eye can see the objects clearly is called near point, or least distance of distinct vision. For a normal eye, it is about 25 centimeter. And far point, that is the farthest distance through which eye can see the object clearly, and it is infinity for normal eyes. So for a normal eye, the near point is 25 centimeter and far point is infinity. So a normal eye can view the object between 25 centimeter and infinity. We will talk about defects of vision and their correction. First is myopia or nearsightedness. Myopia is the defect of vision in which person can see near objects. It is nearsightedness. We can see the near object. So nearsightedness, but cannot see the distant object or far objects, as the image form is in front of retina. Normal image should form at retina, but in case of myopic eyes, it is forming in front of the retina. So this defect is due to increase in curvature of eye lens, increase in the length of eyeball, and it can be corrected by using suitable lens, that is known as concave lens. The power is minus power and it is corrected by the use of concave lens. Opposite of myopic eye is hypermetropic eyes or hypermetropia or farsightedness. Now, hypermetropia is a defect of vision in which person can see distant object clearly but cannot see near object clearly, as the image form is behind the retina. This may be due to decrease in curvature of eye lens, or second is decrease in the length of the eyeball. Now it can be corrected by using the spectacles using the convex lens, and the power is considered as plus power. It is mostly seen in the old age. Third type of defect is presbyopia. In this defect of vision, it is mostly common in the old people, in which they are not able to see nearby objects clearly. because of increase in the distance of the near point. Now this is due to weakening of ciliary muscles and decrease in the flexibility of eye lenses. It can be corrected by using the suitable convex lens. Sometimes this defect is seen that both nearby and distant objects are not being seen clearly. It can be corrected by using bifocal lenses consisting of both concave and convex lens. Upper part is concave for correction of distant vision and the lower part is convex for correction of the near vision. Refraction of light through a glass prism. Now, when a ray of white light or light passes through a glass prism, it gets bent twice at air-glass interface and at glass-air interface. Now, the emergent ray is deviated by an angle to the incident ray. This angle is known as angle of deviation. Another phenomenon of light dispersion. When a beam of white light is passed through a glass prism, it's split up into bands of color called spectrum. This is also known as dispersion of light or white light. The spectrum of white light has 7 different colors. We know it as Vibgyor, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. The red light bends the least and the violet light bends the most. In this diagram, you can see the bands of color or spectrum. Another interesting phenomenon is recombination of the spectrum of white light produces white light again. Now, what we have to do is, when a beam of white light is passed through a glass prism, we know it will get splitted into its component color of Vibgyor. When this color are allowed to fall on an inverted glass prism, it recombines to produce the white light. Rainbow formation. A rainbow is a natural spectrum appearing in the sky after rain shower. It is caused by dispersion of sunlight by water droplet present in the atmosphere. When the water droplet acts as a small prism, they refract and disperse the sunlight and then reflect it internally and finally refract it again when it comes out of the raindrops. So, due to dispersion of sunlight and internal reflection by the water droplets, we see the rainbow colors. In this way, rainbow is formed due to internal reflection and refraction through the water droplets. Now, atmospheric refraction. Atmospheric refraction is due to gradual change in the refractive index of the atmosphere. Now, the refractive index of the atmosphere gradually increases down to normal as light is traveling from the lighter area to the denser area. So, the real position of the star is different from its apparent position. You can see the apparent position of the star. What is the reason behind twinkling of stars? The twinkling of stars is due to atmospheric refraction of the starlight and due to changing in the position of the stars and the movement of the layer of the atmosphere. So, the light from the stars is sometimes brighter and sometimes fainter and it appears to twinkle. Now, planets are closer to the earth than the stars. The light from the stars is considered as a point source of light and the light from planets are considered as extended source of light. So, the light from the planets nullify the twinkling effect. You can see why the stars twinkle. Light from a star, the earth atmosphere with moving pockets of cold and warm air. Advanced sunrise and delays sunset. The sun is visible to us about 2 minutes before sunrise and about 2 minutes after sunset due to atmospheric refraction. The apparent flattening of the sun's disk at sunrise and at sunset is also due to atmospheric refraction. Another phenomena of light is scattering of light. Tyndall effect. When a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution, the path of light becomes visible due to the scattering of light by the colloidal particles, and this effect is known as Tyndall effect. The Earth atmosphere contains air molecules, water droplets, dust, smoke, etc. And when the sunlight passes through these particles, the atmosphere, the path of the light becomes visible due to scattering of light by these particles. Now, the color of scattered light depends upon the size of scattering particle. Very fine particles scatter blue light and larger particles scatter different colors of light. In this is all the Tyndall effect or scattering of light. What is the color of sky? Answer will be blue. So why is the color of the clear sky is blue? Now, the fine particles in the atmosphere have very smaller size particle, smaller than the wavelength of the visible light. Now, when the light enters the atmosphere, they scatter blue light which has shorter wavelength than the red light which has longer wavelength. When the sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the fine particles in the atmosphere scatter and the blue color more strongly appears than the red. So the sky appears blue. If the earth had no atmosphere, then there will be no scattering of light and sky will appear dark. So sky appears dark at very high altitude due to less atmosphere. Now you can see white light from the sun is composed of all colors of rainbow. More than 20 miles above earth, the sky appears to be black. Color of the sky is normally blue, but at sunrise and sunset, it appears to be reddish in color. At sunrise and sunset, the sun is near the horizon and the light from the sun travels through the thicker layer of atmosphere. So the longer distance through the atmosphere, you can say, near the horizon, most of the blue light and shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particles of the air, and the red and longer wavelength reaches our eye. So sun appears reddish at sunrise and sunset.